Guys, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, just released his new music video, This Is America, a couple of days ago. Some people think that it's too controversial, other people think it's not controversial enough. Some people think it means one thing, other people think it's like 50 million times deeper than that. Wherever you are, I want to explain the music video and song to you so that you know exactly what's going on. I honestly feel a little bit afraid to explain this music video because I'm white. I feel like I'll be able to give you guys an academic or a symbolic breakdown or like a clear-cut logical sort of explanation, but I don't feel like I'll ever completely feel what this music video means because I'm not African American. There's a lot going on here and I want to be super humble talking about this. So, as far as the music video goes, we see Donald Glover doing throughout the music video this like weird kind of full body dance while kind of he smiles creepy, but it also looks like there's some pain in his eyes, and in the background we see a lot of other things happening. And sometimes he'll do something a little bit crazy like shoot people, and then he'll go back to dancing like it was no big deal. So there's this juxtaposition between pleasure and pain, between beauty and just terrible, awful things happening. So like, first of all, he comes out from behind the pillar and there's this, African American playing on the guitar, and Donald Glover just shoots him and goes right back to dancing. The fact that when he hands the gun off to an assistant, the assistant uses like a cloth to carry it, suggests to some people that this might be about the Second Amendment. This, though, I think has probably more to do with black on black violence, since typically when people are trying to make a big point about the Second Amendment, typically it'll be more about like a school shooting. So while gun control conversations need to happen, I don't really think that that's what he's pushing here. I think it has more to do with that blending of beauty and pain, where he's singing the song that's interesting and it sounds kind of happy and he's like dancing enthusiastically, and then he just shoots somebody. How do you reconcile that in your mind? How do you imagine a person who can dance and seem happy, but then also can just cold-bloodedly murder somebody? And that kind of plays into what I think is the bigger theme of the music video, but more on that in a second. Next, we see him continue to dance with this group of like school kids, while behind them there's like mass chaos happening. People might be attacking each other. It seems like there's some sort of a riot going on, and this continues into the second verse as well. A lot of people have suggested, and I think they're right, that he talks about how sometimes we let distractions keep us from seeing what's going on in the background. The surface level keeps us from understanding the truth. And these kids are appreciating like the dance craze or the new music and it's cool, but they don't fully understand the culture, their own culture, that it comes from. Next, we see the African American choir singing, and then Donald Glover comes in kind of sneaky and odd, and he starts to look bored for a second, and then he uses this automatic rifle to just kill all of them in cold blood. A lot of people have suggested that this has to do with the Charleston shooting in 2015 when a white nationalist snuck into a church and killed African American congregants, but on one hand, I feel like that might not be accurate, because in that element, and when people point this out when they're doing their theories, they talk about how there were 9 people who were killed, but in this choir there are 10 people, and it's not a white person shooting them, it's an African American. And again, I think this goes back to the relationship between beauty and pain. We have something beautiful, some music happening here, but it's stopped by pain, the pain of that culture. Continues to dance with the kids as even more chaos happens in the background of the music video, again highlighting that idea of distraction, keeping us from understanding what's really happening. And then everybody just disappears, and he sits there and he's just smoking some marijuana. And it's like he takes off the facade, the fake happy smile for a second, and it's like he just is so exhausted and so tired he needs to relax. It's like he's not performing anymore. And I think that a big part of this music video is aimed at black rappers or black performers. And there are many, many elements to this, but I think one of the things he's saying is that sometimes black performers put on like a fake face and they try to make their culture look like something while ignoring the pain and the suffering and the reality of what maybe is actually happening behind the curtain. And so in this moment, he stops performing, he just takes a break, but then he hops on that next car and he starts dancing and singing again, and it's just right back into it. Also, you might have noticed that's SZA sitting on the car watching him. But what's the result of all of this? Well, the camera pans out and it changes, and now he's running in this dark hallway followed by a mixture of white and black people, not just white people as some people have tried to suggest, and he's absolutely terrified. And I think what Donald Glover is saying here is that this terror, or this something that they're trying to repress, is a statement of what happens when you try to separate the beauty from the pain. This whole music video, the music, the lyrics, it's all about separating the beauty from the pain in African American art. When you just have the weird, crazy dancing and, you know, them trying to create something, it feels like soul crushing. It feels like he's faking it. It feels weird. And then when you see the pain, you don't see the good sides of the culture too. When you see the bad things that happen to the culture or bad things that the culture does to itself, you don't have a full appreciation of it. And Donald Glover is satiring, I think, partially, you know, people outside the culture who think that they understand it or, you know, just want to take bits and pieces. And I think he's also satiring people within the culture who want to make it separate as well. And so he'll oscillate. He'll be doing one thing that's, you know, interesting and artsy, and then he'll be doing something that's just like horrendously graphically violent. And it's exhausting, and he's got to keep performing, and it just keeps going and he can't stop. And the end result is pure terror, running from violence, no peace, no actual peace. A little pause here and there, but no peace, no resolution, just dance crazes and violence. Even if you listen to the music at one point in the song, you hear kind of the happy music happening at the same time that you hear this like more intense, dark, heavy trap beat. And it's a clear attempt to try to meld the you know, the happiness, the good with the bad, and see what happens, and it just sounds dissonant and awkward, but it's real. And it's dissonant and it's awkward because even though they're being played at the same time, they're still separate. And if you listen to or read the lyrics, you notice the same thing. In the bridge, he's like, we just want to party, party just for you. We just want the money, money just for you. And then later on, he says, Grandma told me, get your money, black man, get your money. Look how I'm geeking out. I'm so fitted. I'm on Gucci. I'm so pretty. And it even starts to feel like he's satiring rappers when he says, hunted bands, contraband, I got the plug, or a drug dealer in Oaxaca, a place known for drug cartels. But then the chorus completely flips things up. It's not positive or happy at all. It's just, this is America. Don't catch you slipping up. Look what I'm whipping up. This is America. And what is America to Donald Glover? It's a messed up, mixed up place that doesn't know what to do with the African American community or with the art that they create. The world, white people, African Americans, everybody wants to look at those two things separately. I don't think Donald Glover is just pointing this at white people and saying that they've made mistakes. I think he's also pointing it at the African American community and saying, you know, you want to try to just, you know, live the rapper lifestyle, or you want to do one thing, but there's so much pain that happens when we ignore the true problems. Yeah, guys, there's a ton to this music video, there's a ton to the song. More people will continue to figure things out. It's hugely complicated and hugely interesting, but I encourage you to watch it for yourself. Let me know what you think down below. Particularly if you are African American, I really want to learn from you and know what this music video means to you personally. Please comment that down below, and I look forward to reading it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out these videos, and I'll talk to you next time.